Goes to Burns, Jack Burns. He tries to go through the gap, smacks on the pace, but he's grounded right in the cricket pitch area. Splinter Woods for Hay. Magpies goes over the halfway line, a good run, and he's tackled.
Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, the completion.
Hay in possession. Here it goes to Jack Burns. Burns kicks downfield on the third tackle. Picked up here by Chris Richards. You bring him back. He comes across field. Now he straightens up, but there's plenty of defence there. David Chase in there, helping to make the tackle along with Danny Burns. He'll play it. Stu Varian goes into dummy half of the Rankin Springs Dragons. Gives it out to Colin Eldridge. Eldridge goes for back slam there, and a good tackle by Michael Fitzpatrick. He'll get up and play the ball. They go the blind side through Ian Luff standing up there, but he's tackled, met very solidly there by David Shea and Sean Bunyan. Rankin Springs in possession. Here's Charlie Prince. He's tackled. 20 metres short of the halfway line in Rankin Springs territory. Colin Parsons has it. Goes to Eldridge. Eldridge tries to straighten it up, but the defence is very strong out there in the middle of the field, and he's tackled. Out it comes to Parsons. On it goes to Richards. Again, Richards will kick downfield, but at the back is Troy Atkins. He picks it up now. He turns around. Crossfield he goes. Still going across field. Still going across field. Tries to get away from one, but he's taken there by the lock forward Brad Richardson. Play the ball. Woods at dummy half. Runs away. Makes 2 or 3 metres before he's tackled right in the centre of the ground in the middle. He manages to slip the pass back inside to Danny Burns, but he's going nowhere. 10-6 in favour of Hay. Here's Paul Bunyan for the Magpies.
The away side 7.
Ben McCulley. It goes to Jack Burns. Burns being very heavily involved in the opening minutes of the grand final. Sherman. It goes to Danny Burns. Burns, well, he went to dummy and throw it back. He did, but the referee said it was an intentional forward pass, so here's a penalty to Rankin Springs to relieve a little bit of midfield pressure. We've had 15 minutes of football in the first half, and it's Hay 10 leading Rankin Springs 6. Richards finds the line 20 metres out. Here come the Dragons. It goes out to Parsons. Away it goes to Veering. Veering gives it on to Stuart Smetzer, but Smetzer couldn't hold the ball. Knocks it forward. It's scooped up at the back by Troy Veering, but he's tackled there by Smetzer coming through with the help of another player. I think it was Stuart Veering. He'll play the ball about 6 metres short of his own line. Dean Whitehead runs across field, tries to straighten it, but he's tackled. Hay through Andrew Sherman will run it back, but the defence is very solid there with Veering going in to help on the tackle. Sherman to get up and play the ball. Danny Burns goes to the blind side. Away goes to Horan, to Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick gets it back inside to Shea. Shea going to be held up there by a couple of players, including Stuart Veering, who's very heavily involved in the defence department. Out it goes to Jack Burns, on it goes to Paul Bunyan, running strongly across the field, but the defence is right up to the mark there, and they put him on there again. He gets up, he was told to play it, he got up and went again, and he's going to be penalised. Mistakes you should make in grand finals. On the 30-metre line in Hayes territory, Richards finds touch, 20 metres out. Pulowski will take the kick, the tap, gives it to Veering. Veering goes surging for the line, but he's dropped about 5 metres short. Here's a good position for Magpie, for the Dragons. They may be able to create something. Eldridge surges towards the line. He's only a couple of metres short before he's dropped, and he'll play it. He may have lost it in there. I think he's knocked it on. Yes, the referee's picked up a little knock on in there, so this will be a relief for the Magpies, and they should be able to come out, get themselves out of trouble. Declan Horan's gone to halfback for the Magpies, while Jamie Burns has gone to 5'8". Horan will feed the scrum. Magpies. He runs from the base of the scrum. Horan still going, gets away from 2 or 3. He's made a good break before he's met there and put on the ground by Chris Richards, the fullback. Good run from Horan. Here they go, the Magpies. Big Paul Bunyan goes forward, but he's going to be tackled over there on the far side of the field. 10-6, the Magpies lead. Danny Burns runs across field looking for a runner, but they bet Slater back him up there and he'll take the tackle. 22 metres short of the halfway line in Hay territory. Jack Burns shows it, comes out to the open side, but there's a couple of defenders there and they'll put him on the ground. A replacement player on there for Rankin Springs is Big Jack Waipar. Here's Sean Bunyan running solidly. Goes to the 40-metre line where he's knocked over. He'll get up and play the ball. There's going to be a penalty here against a couple of Rankin Springs players for not getting off him quick enough. Well, there's one thing about Riley. He's right on this today, and hopefully this trend will continue. Ben McCulley finds touch in Rankin Springs, or just over the halfway line in Rankin Springs territory. Andrew Sherman, the big prop forward, surges forward and he's knocked over about 8 metres into Rankin Springs territory. Goes to Jack Burns. He gives it to McCulley. McCulley skirting the rucks, but the defence is very strong out there for the Springs and he'll play the ball. Danny Burns runs from dummy half, slips over, and they converge on him. 18 metres into Rankin Springs territory. Hay in possession. They're leading by 10 points to 6, and we've had about 19, almost 20 minutes in the first half. Here it goes, Burns. It gets out to McCulley standing wide, and the big forward puts on the speed, but he's bowled over. He'll get up and play the ball. Right in centre field, 40 metres out from, or 30 metres out from Hay's line. Here's a good break from Hay through their captain coach, Jack Burns, and he's going to be tackled about 8 metres short of the line, and there's a knock on. Or a changeover, actually. Pulowski out of dummy half gives it to Cole Parsons. On it goes to Loof. Loof running strongly before he's tackled. Troy Veering has the ball for Rankin Springs before he's tackled. He'll get up and play it. Pulowski, on it goes to Parsons. Parsons feints to turn it back inside, then change his mind, but is tackled there by a couple of Hay defenders, including Paul Bunyan. Rankin Springs in possession through the lock, Brad Richards. He's knocked over 18 metres short of the halfway line. Now it's Charlie Prince going forward. Prince only knows one way, and that's straight up the middle. Makes good ground too before he's swarmed on there by 3 or 4 of the Magpies. Out it goes along the back line. There's a lock, Brad Richards standing out wide. Slips the ball away out there to Stuart Smitzer. On it goes to Jamie Coy. Coy kicks downfield. It's going to be cleaned up here by the winger for the Magpies, which is Ray Woods, and he's immediately tackled about 25 metres out from his own line. Hay in possession. They lead by 10 points to 6, and we've had 21 minutes of play in the first half. As a replacement on for Hay with the ball, it looks like Gubba Woods, the Hay legend. He's got the ball. Danny Burns has it. Gives it to Andrew Shea. Shea goes forward, but he's met by a couple of defenders, and he'll play the ball. Danny Burns. Out it goes to Jack Burns. On it goes to the 5'8" Horan. He's heavily tackled there, almost on the cricket pitch area. He'll play the ball 11 metres short of the halfway line. Jackie Burns has it, turns it back inside and picks up a runner in. Gubba Woods coming through very strongly there, and Woods is tackled. 10 points to 6 in favour of Hay Magpies. Here's a kick from Danny Burns, but it went up the side of his boot and was cleaned up by, taken there by Ian Lou, who immediately gives it out to the runner outside him, the winger, which is Brian Studholme, and he's tackled. Rankin Springs have the ball through Veering. On it goes to Prince. Prince to the halfway. He's knocked over. 10-6 the Magpies. 22 minutes of play in the grand final. Brian Studholme, it goes on to Matt Pulowski. He gives it out to Steve Smitzer. Smitzer runs strongly. Makes 3 or 4 metres. He manages to slip the ball to Veering. Stuart Veering dancing around in the middle of the cricket pitch area there before he's tackled. He'll play it. Out it goes to Parsons. Parsons, a little kick over the top, might be a little bit too big. That's all other defences coming through from everywhere. Here's a sensational try, but I don't think he's going to award it, is he? No, it's touched. It came off his hand and went forward. The referee signals that the ball had gone off Richards' hand and went forward, and was cleaned up by Parsons. I thought he was going to score. Scrum packing down Magpies' feed. Declan Horan has it. He runs across field. Now he straightens up. Oh, heavily dumped there by Stuart Veering, and a good ball and all tackle. He'll get up and play the ball. 25 metres out from his own line. 10-6 the Magpies lead. On it goes to Sean Bunyan. Bunyan has a look, but he's met there by the defence, and will play it in the centre of the field, and they're going to get a penalty here for one of the Rankin Springs players reefing or trying to reef the ball out of his arms.